meeting to order. Amy, you mind to do the roll call?
Ms. Blackwell?
Here.
Mr. Bishop?
Here.
Mr. Kirkland?
Here.
Mr. Caldwell?
Here.
Mr. Fogel?
Here. I would like to take a moment of silence. We've lost some community members, county folks, Sister Kay, Billy Weatherford, Mr. Earl Whitlock. Thank you all, appreciate it. Well, we know how to start this meeting. This has kind of been one of these weeks that you hope you never have to have, but we're here. And, I first of all like to thank the entire county staff of employees. It's been a very trying week for every single department. Nothing's been the same. Everything's been out of the norm. But I appreciate everybody stepping up and coming to work and doing their jobs. And as far as what I'm hearing, we're not getting any complaints on that. So again, I just want to thank our entire staff, from the county road, barn, sanitation employees, to the jail, to the career center, all the nurses at the jail, EMS, especially EMS, you know, for taking the chances they're taking. I mean, this is we got to fight this thing together. So everybody has done that. So again, we asked for a little help. Laurie and Keith and myself and Sharon sat back here yesterday for some PPE protection stuff that some of the medical facilities are running short on, and I'd like to thank TG Kentucky, Independence Day, the Board of Education, Komatsu, the FTS, and Hendrickson. All those folks stepped up and basically gave us whatever extra stock they had, and we have distributed throughout the medical community today, and going to get some more in tomorrow. And Laurie's working on a pile of the stuff from Lincoln Trail Health Department. So, you know, this is some stuff that we hope we never have to use it, but at least we'll have it, you know, in another occasion. And if we do, we at least got it. So, but it is a very trying time. I know you feel like you can't do enough. You know, it's been a tough week. I know it's been tough on all department heads. I know the Judicial Center, they're closed down as well. The jail's pretty much closed down for business, trying to contain what's going on. So the only saving grace is right now there is no confirmed cases in Marion County. So that's something that's good. And I understand the governor's done a lot of extreme things, and most people, I think, are taking it serious. I know you hear some complaints, but again, people understand this is a temporary situation, we hope, and he's doing it to help the people in Kentucky. So again, there's some things that I've written down here that I think you hear it every day, but we're going to say it again. Wash your hands, cover your cough, avoid close contact, do not touch surfaces unless necessary, clean and disinfect as much as possible, and if you are sick, stay home. The whole thing is stay home as much as possible. So that's what we've been told, and again, does anybody else got any comments on what we're facing here and what's going on?
I was in Frankfurt this morning, and I'm just telling you guys that there's a tremendous concern for the public health of our counties, our state, and our nation. And it has changed the way we do business, and it probably is going to be that kind of an effect like it did, like 9/11. We changed the face of what we do, how we done business. So again, Judge, it's everywhere.
Well, that being said, we're going to go ahead and try to get this done so we kind of do what they tell us we should be doing. So, first item on the agenda is consider approval of minutes of the previous meeting held March 5th, 2020.
Motion.
Second. Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
The second item is consider approval of minutes of special call meeting held March 13th, 2020.
Motion. Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
The third item is we have Mr. Paul Sanders with the Kentucky Department of Transportation with us today just to explain our flex funds to us and some state roads and projects that they're going to be doing in Marion County.
Sure. Thank you all.
Paul.
We too, are like the county, we're faced with the trying time, try to operate, keep people safe, get things done. We've got a lot of employees at the district office we're trying to send home, let them work from home and try to get things done. So we understand the challenges. Every day seems like a new day. We get through tomorrow and then get up Monday morning and wonder what's going to change. How do we have to attack that? So
Exactly.
I totally understand the county's point. But I'm here today to explain the rural secondary program for this year. Doesn't seem like it was all that long ago I was here doing it for this past year. But the rural secondary program, it's funded by 22% of the motor fuel tax. Those funds are allocated to 120 counties based on the 5-point formula. That formula being 1/5 equal among all the counties, 1/5 based on the rural population, and then 1/5 based on the road miles, and then 2/5 based on the land area. And of course, once that money's been allocated to a county, it's not transferable to any other county, so it stays here. If you look at the handout I set there in front of you, you'll see our first priority. That's our routine maintenance and traffic. That's the dollar amount for us to be able to take care of the rural roads for us in Marion County. It's $484,700. Then if you look at the second priority, that's the county judge expense, which is $2,400, and that's set by statute. And then if you look at our first item there, resurfacing program is Kentucky 52. That's going from Kentucky 49 at mile point 4.685, going to a joint that's pavement joint that's north of Kentucky 49 at 8.915. That total distance being 4.230 miles. Anticipated cost of that's $386,678. Then if you look at our next one and final priority would be Kentucky 429, 4/10 north of Coward Lane at mile point 3.25, going to the Marion, Washington County line at mile point 5.393, that total distance being 2.143 miles. That's anticipated cost being $179,136. The total program's $1,052,914, which is about $13,000 in total program. So one of this second route probably will get shortened a little bit to make up the money, which is what they typically do. So a couple other things to mention. With our other MP program, it's another resurfacing program we have. A section of Kentucky 49 from the 16.4 to the 17.4 is going to get done. That's Grand Memorial Drive, just to about the junction of Kentucky 49 and 55. Another road we're looking at is Kentucky 527 from the 11.9 to about the 15.6, so that's basically between 52 and 49. Then Kentucky 208, from the Taylor-Marion County line, roughly to the 6.05 mile marker, which is Kentucky 1157. And then one that, depending upon how all those bids come in, if they come in okay and there's money, there's a possibility that may another section of Kentucky 49 out past Sam Browning Road, which is at about mile point 21.8, going up to Hardin Creek Bridge, which is mile point 23.3. That one's the if, maybe, because of, I guess, funding. And then back to the flex funds. For this year, like I said, you all will get $197,636 to use for resurfacing of roads. Okay? So any questions about any of those?
Yes, I got one question. On this 52, did that take it down the county line? That seems to be the, where they repatched it this last year, be starting at,
It's
I
just,
think it starts at 527 down to the county line toward, like, when we got to the new road. There's been more phone calls on that road than,
I know there's,
I mean, and then,
There's some patch spots there.
there's some that I know they dug out, and then I know there's some we gotta go back and wedge up. And we've got some patching orders that we are in place of trying to get out the door once they fire up the plants to try to get some stuff done. So
Yeah.
Is one of those out on 84 towards the Nelson County line out of Raywood?
I don't have that list with me, so I can't, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you. I just can tell you that we are actively pursuing patching this year. We're like anybody else, we're operating within that budget we got, to try to get some done. Our goal is to spend about 750 tons in each county and do the best we can with that.
Is this widening the roads any?
No, this
No.
is just taking care of what the road is today. I know 52's tore up, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of grain trucks.
yeah, I mean, and that's where all the phone calls are coming from. I call it, San Francisco down to the next station. And it's hard to drive on this road.
Sure.
So are you just patch this or?
Now, there's some of them, we've dug them out. The intent would be to dig out, get them leveled up, maybe let them sit there a while, and then come back and level the whole thing up.
These are more about where they patched it this fall.
And that would be the ones where it should be taken care of.
And it says on the drive.
Well, and you know, the availability of optics during the winter is something we just don't have.
At least it hasn't snowed like this year.
I've had
That's been a
few
blessing.
complaints about striping. You know when they're planning on striping this area,
The contract was just let, so when the weather goes to work more favorable, they'll get started. Typically, they get all of the roads with the 4-inch line, get those done before July 1, and then they'll do the interstate part roads after that. So I'd say by July, they should have all 11 of our counties done.
Timmy Eaton, I called him, and he was thinking around June probably.
The way that works is they have to get all the roads done by a certain period, and then there's a proving period, and then after that, we go back and check the reflectivity to make sure that it's still holding that number. And so that's the reason for getting it done by July.
Any word on the gas tax?
You may know more than I just know.
That's why we're here today and having questions why some of them ain't already fixed. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the ball was dropped years ago, and it was a political ploy, and we haven't recovered from it, you know, and it's killing us. These state roads are all rough.
They
I'm
are.
just gonna be honest with you.
Being part of it.
It's, I know between here and Hodgenville, I travel with it at night, and you can't see the sides, and it's just the roads are bad. I mean, it's dangerous. I know you're just a bearer of news.
Bearer of bad news.
Yeah, but, you know.
No, you're right. I mean, it's a funding thing, and it would be nice if they did come up with a gas tax, you know. As far as I know right now, the House passed their portion of the bill, highway bill plan, if you will. I haven't heard anything about that, as far as what the budget or what we're gonna get.
Yeah. Well, this is the first distraction I've had from the coronavirus for a while, so I appreciate you coming in.
Well, and to be honest,
I know we had this plan for a long time, but I would have understood if you couldn't make it as well.
well, and to be honest with you guys, you were the last county I had. I've gotten all the other 10 done, and I thought, well, that's not really nice to not come, so it's all good. And I said, I appreciate it. It was nice to get out of the office once to get away from the coronavirus thing, because I've been like you, been inundated with emails. We're trying to set up different methods of communication because not everybody's in one spot anymore, so we're struggling just like everybody else is.
But
We'll all get through it.
We understand you just got so much money, and we appreciate everything you do for us.
I hope everybody understands that budget is, it's hard to make the dollar go.
It is.
really is.
Paul, we appreciate you.
Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it.
But if you do find any extra, we appreciate it.
Glad to ask Mr. Higgins.
Item number 4 is to consider approval of the budget transfer for EMS for $30,000.
Motion.
Ms. Blackwell? Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Item number 5 is to consider approval of the Marion County Middle School basketball team to clean 10 miles of road in the Cash for Trash program. This will yield $100 per mile, and this will also conclude the groups for this year.
That's what we talked about last meeting. Motion.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
All right, the next item is department reports. Jimmy, I know you've got a report here.
Yes, sir, Livers Road, I know some of y'all are familiar with it. It has slid, we're going to have to do some work down there, I don't know when we're going to do it, but we're going to have to get on it pretty quick. And Medlock Spur, it has slipped again, just want to let y'all know. It's passable, but it's slipped. We're going to get back up there, do what we can to fix it. Like I said, we're just trying to get by through this.
New guys working out good.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for hard.
Thank you all for this week. I know it's been a trying week for you all as well, so we appreciate all you doing. Anybody got anything?
Just like you got to work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keith's got a report in here. Larry?
It's definitely unprecedented time right now with everything going on. There's been some decisions made at the detention center based on public health recommendations, Secretary of Justice and Department of Corrections, including the governor's office, which everything is filtered down through. I want to commend, I know that the city mayor, county judge, and all of us got to meet over there and respectfully do our social distancing, but discuss it as two governments. I know that some decisions have been made for us. We've got our lobby closed, we got our jail as contained as possible we can, because we are an at-risk population because of we can't have social distancing, and I don't have 300 individual rooms for people to be in at the facility. So to try to curb that breakout and it's spreading through the inmate population as well as the staff, there has been some things that have been put into place to include that all the judges, circuit judges and district judges are working with us on trying to keep the ones that need to be kept in jail and release the ones that we can do something with at a later date. With that, our energy, we have to commend the other law enforcement as well, because we've asked that no arrest on any out-of-county warrants be processed through the detention center. And meaning so, a specific incident, we had an individual that's arrested from Hardin County, and we would typically hold the individual until Hardin County could come get that individual. That's no longer a luxury, but I mean, it's just because of the risk of adding that exposure into your facility and then moving it to another jail. So their recommendations is those arrests, if they're made, to be taken directly to the county which holds the warrant. So it's not the most convenient for our law enforcement, but it is the recommendation of the Secretary of Justice, Public Health, and Department of Corrections. I was invited to Frankfurt, as y'all know, intentions to testify on our performance-based bill 120, Senate Bill 128. that got scratched somewhere around 4:30 yesterday evening. And I was notified that they still needed me to go to Frankfurt because we had there's another bill, which is House Bill 361. House Bill 361 came about in the process of a circuit judge ordering an inmate to be moved from one county jail to another county jail because the sentencing county jail was overcrowded. There was a lot of dismay and who has the authority? Does a circuit judge have the authority to move inmates from one county to another county? And the county have a say-so. Well, this prompted this bill, House Bill 361, and it put specific language that a judge cannot make that transfer to unnecessary to another county without it being identified as an emergency, and two, that the counties from which the case originated had to have a contract agreement for housing at the county that's receiving it. So this is a double-edged sword when they ask for things. At the same time, it opened the door for Department of Corrections to start be a part of that monitoring. Department of Corrections can make a ruling to move prisoners from one facility to the next. Typically, their prisoners, not county prisoners, but their prisoners, based on populations that exceed 150%. And I say that, the reason I bring this up, this bill, and it is supported by the association, by the Sheriff Association, by some of the courts and stuff, but it can also put us in a position to where that we would be asked to either contract or consider those agreements with other counties. And as you all know, we went through our budget and stuff. Right now, we charge Washington County $40.41. Our actual cost in 2019 was $43.67. I think what I give to you all yesterday. So as we finalize, you've accepted the budget that I've issued this week. By law, it had to be in. Other than that, it's something that we need to consider as a court on what that price is going to be for housing county prisoners. So, I mean, you know what the cost is. The cost is $43.67 in 19, and it's definitely not going to get any cheaper, but it's something that we as a court will need to address in any way if we're going to for Washington County with our agreement there. And then we could probably may have expect some interest from other counties asking to have some type of agreement.
150%.
150% population.
So you can go way over your.
Yeah, you can go way over. It's typically I'm surprised that anyone put that in a bill, because there's been federal lawsuits and even dissent decrees issued down on anything over 137%. So I'm kind of was a little bit surprised that they had a figure in there.
That's a lot.
It is. But the powering thing is that we have the representative that sponsored the bill is out of Madison County, and they are way over, have run numerously throughout the last year at way over 200%. They had a 187 bed facility, and they housed way over 400 inmates at times. Very unsafe for communities and aspects. So there are several counties that are faced with that issue. So I'm just saying when the bill protects the counties, it also opened up for some regulations. So all I'm saying is it's something we need to consider about what we as a county are willing to sell those beds for. So that, and of course you got the budget. Thank you all for coming out to the presentation, and We have been so inundated with the COVID-19 changes that we did not get any monthly report to you this month.
Understand.
All right,
Thank you, Barry.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for going up to Frankfurt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck again.
I was hoping they'd open the door and let me opportunity to talk about jails, but it was specifically Q&A, and you answered your question, they put you back out, so I didn't get to talk much. But I went.
Robbie?
One of our trucks that the 2018 Freightliner we had an issue with last Friday, and some kind of transmission issue. It's at Clark Power and Little now. They're saying it would probably be covered under warranty, but they're waiting on Allison to give the final word. I thought we'd fix it anyway. They didn't want me to put any pull. They're thinking it's some kind of carrier bearing that's causing the problem. And other than that, we had a full-time paramedic who resigned his full-time position, which is going to start about the middle of April. I've already advertised in-house. I don't know if any of our part-time paramedics will be interested or not. If not, I'd like to go ahead and get permission from you all to advertise outside. They have to the 30th of this month to apply if they're interested. And like I said, if we don't have anyone by that time, I'd like to have permission to go ahead and do some advertising outside our service for one. And next thing is me and the judge sit down, and I sit down with Kevin. I believe if we hire an additional EMT or an aide down there, it would help with our overtime. It would eliminate some mandatory overtime that we're giving right now. Salary-wise and retirement-wise, it's pretty much going to be a wash from the numbers from decreasing the overtime. The only extra expense that we see probably is the benefits package. And I'd like to do that also.
We need a motion to do that.
Might want to,
We'll do each one separate. You have a motion to advertise for,
motion to advertise for the open paramedic position.
Second.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Fogel?
and then we also need to hire for,
Hire EMT.
Yes.
are you gonna do that in-house? Is that
Yeah,
what you-
I think we can fill that position
Okay.
in-house.
Just need a motion to hire an EMT.
Motion to hire EMT.
Second.
Jackie Beechey? Judy?
Yes.
Ms. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Kirkland?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
The only other thing I have, we're like everybody else. We're changed up some of our routine on answering calls. We have a protocol in place that involves dispatches with some extra questions for them to ask people when they call. But other than that, we're trucking right along.
So we don't kind of screen them like I hear some of the other places are doing.
Yeah, dispatch is screening. Of course, we're screening employees every day, and every time they go in a facility, they're getting a thermometer stuck in their mouth or across their head or something. So, I mean, it's delaying some things, but they've already got it turned over, like on emergencies where they're actually screening us to come in and nursing homes and so forth. If it delays our response, we're not liable.
The truck went down, you still okay truck-wise?
Yeah, I mean, we still got one spare. Like I said, I told them, that makes me nervous. Because they are mechanical things, do that. We're good for now.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robbie, appreciate it. Laurie?
Well, as the judge said, he and I and a slew of other officials have been very busy this week responding to the coronavirus and changes throughout the county. I've spent a lot of time trying to determine where our healthcare providers are as far as PPE and other supplies. And what I'm hearing is for right now, everybody's in pretty good shape, but the potential for a huge number of patients, especially inpatients at the hospital, is really going to stress them. We do are expecting some supplies through Lincoln Trail. Hopefully they'll be picked up tomorrow. And I just completed a conference call with Kentucky Emergency Management, and they are working diligently to procure PPE from FEMA and other federal sources. So we have a point of destination established for deliveries of any supplies we can get from the state. Hopefully I can get back to some routine duties, and at the top of that list will be the code red. I have written a policy, and Judge and I really haven't got to go through it, and it'll need a little tweaking, but I will present that to the court for approval, and we'll start getting people signed up.
It's good.
Get that going. Tonight, we're under some severe weather watches, so be diligent. Amy is great at helping me keep our Facebook page updated with new information related to the virus, weather, anything of that nature. So, anybody have any questions?
Any code red updates?
She's mentioned go around. All right, thank you, Laura. Okay, we're still at this point not open to the public at the animal shelter. We did hire an extra person to help her, as far as I know.
She said they're just really busy.
Yeah, they had some rescue dogs that were supposed to go out this week, and Canada shut their border down, so we're left to take care of those, but that's part of what they do. So other than that, she said everything was